Today, I'm going to talk to you about how to make better choices. So, I want you to think about an important choice or decision you've made. I don't care whether it is good or bad, it just has to be important. So, I'm going to give you 10 seconds to do that. Okay, so now I want you to go back in time just before you made the choice or decision and imagine I'm there with you. So at that point, I want to teach you about 3 tools you can use to make better choices. So they are sunk cost, opportunity cost, and return on investment. These 3 things are heavily used in economics, and normally it takes you months or semesters to master them, but I'm going to teach you them in a few minutes. So let's start with sunk cost. So sunk cost is based on the false belief that the amount of time and energy and effort you've spent on a past initiative, on a past bad initiative, has any bearings at all on the choices you have to make in the future. So this is otherwise known as the gambler's fallacy, because imagine a gambler who has spent $100 on a slot machine. It's going to be easier for this gambler to spend just $1 more because they believe they spent $100 already than it is for someone who's just spent $1 and is just gambling the next dollar. It also applies in real life. So if I spent $100,000 on a bad investment, it's going to be easier for me to spend $100 more because I believe I spent $100,000 already. Or it's in a relationship. If I believe I've spent 10 years nurturing a bad relationship, it's going to be easier for me to spend 2 more days because I believe I've spent 10 years already on this, so 2 more days might just fix it. But the universe doesn't care. If it's a bad mistake, if it's a bad decision, if it's a bad investment, the past is the past, and the future has to be on a clean slate without the burdens of the past. This sounds a bit depressing, but it's actually quite liberating because it means that we are not burdened by the mistakes we made in the past. We're not burdened by the amount of energy and time and money we spent in the past. We can always start with the future on a clean slate. The next is opportunity cost. So opportunity cost is simply the acknowledgement that choices have costs associated with them. If we choose choice A, we are implicitly rejecting choice B. If I am going to watch movie A, I can't watch movie B at the same time. I can't eat my cake and have it. So the ability to make a choice and acknowledge that we are sacrificing other opportunities is an important part of the decision-making process. And the last one is return on investment. This is simply a measure of how much I'm getting out of something versus how much I put into it. So the amount of time and energy and money you spend on studying and going to classes and getting an education versus the amount of money and career and job satisfaction you get in future. It could also be spending $50,000 to buy a house, $50,000 to repair it, and hoping to sell it for more than $100,000. So with these 3 things, let's put them together and go back to choices. Before making choices, if we can first of all just acknowledge that we don't have to be burdened, we don't have to make a decision based on the amount of time and effort we've spent in the past on it. That's the first step. We don't have to throw good money after bad. We don't have to subscribe to the fallacy of sunk cost. Instead, before making choices, there are really only 2 things that matter. One is we have to be sure or certain or confident that what we're hoping to get out of that choice or that decision is more than what we're putting into it. And finally, we have to make sure that even though we're getting something out of it, even though we're getting $100 million out of it, if we have to sacrifice seeing our family or our friends, we have to weigh those opportunities and decide which cost is more than the other one. So putting these three things together, these allow us to make purposeful and conscious choices instead of just choosing out of the wind. So go back to the choice you made a long time ago and apply these principles and see if you'd have made the same choice. Thank you.